What up, creative family? I hope y'all having a great day. So basically, I was just on Threads and I ended up responding to a thread from a woman that was trying to understand the whole payment process and the back and forth of sending payment versus getting her photos in return before payment. And a bunch of people were jumping in and chiming in on their experiences, on what they do, what their practices are. And I thought it will make for a great video because I ended up responding, and people have been asking me a lot of questions, and I just figured this may be a cool video topic as well. So I'm gonna cover 3 things, which is payment process, and then also we're gonna talk about payment, I guess called payment process, which is NET30 versus NET90 and NET60. So I'll handle the nets first because those are pretty standard and easy. So typically when you're booked or hired for a service, not necessarily just creative, but we'll talk creatives, we'll say photography. Let's say I'm booked for a job and I do the job. Well, before we even do the job, you draft up the contract, blah, 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 blah. You may see the term NET30, NET60, or NET90. And all that means is they have either 30 days to pay you, 60 days to pay you, or 90 days to pay you. So back in the beginning of my career when I was super green, doing behind the scenes for big music videos and other types of productions, I was either getting hit with a NET90 or a NET60, which is basically 2 months to get paid or 3 months to get paid, which is absolutely absurd, especially in today's standards. And it always wasn't for a crazy amount of money. In my head, I kind of relate, if I'm getting paid 5K plus, sometimes a brand may need, 30 days, 60 days to get the funds in order. As long as you guys have a contract that states, hey, I'm gonna be paid this amount of money, don't necessarily worry about how long it takes because that brand or that company is legally bound by that contract. So signing a contract before you shoot anything, before you edit anything is pivotal. But sometimes nowadays you're getting hit with NET90s or NET30s, whatever the net is, for anything less than $1,000, less than $500, which I don't think is acceptable for a creative, especially, like I said, in today's society, today's economy, today's way of life. Like, no one can wait 30 days or 2 months, for payment processing. Now, the second portion that I wanted to talk about is, I'll call it the workflow, the payment workflow. Should you send over footage or should you send over photos before you get paid? Now, I'll go over the photography side first and how I do it. So for the photography side, I require 50% of whatever the budget of the shoot is before I do anything. That basically locks me in, saying, hey, I agree, I will show up to the shoot, I will do the job. That basically you're just securing James for the day, for the shoot, for the project. And then on the other side, I require the 50% remaining on the day of the shoot. Now, I didn't always do this, but I've been burned on the back end because think of it this way. You do the shoot and now you go home, you edit, you do retouches, you go back and forth with the client. And they say, okay, great, we love it, like send us the photos. You send them the photos and then you're screwed because you don't know if this client is gonna run off, if they're gonna go ghost. But this is why it's very important to have contracts. But I know a lot of people don't deal with contracts, they just kind of do word of mouth, which I would say steer away from that and get contracts in order. I'll put a link down in the description below to the contracts I use. Use contracts, just stop doing things by word of mouth, use contracts. So you want to avoid the client just running off. So the way I do it, again, is 50% before the shoot, 50% the day of the shoot. So then that way I know I've been paid in full. Now it's the client's kind of stress, like, hey, can we trust this photographer? But like I said, this is why having the contract is pivotal. Now video, I feel like it's a little bit easier than photo. I require 50% before the shoot, basically, like I said, for photos, locking me in, I'm gonna do the job. And then the other 50% is due upon delivery of the video. It's much easier to deal with video because you can actually send private links where clients can't download or screen record. And also you can just be as simple as putting a watermark on your video. You can put it either in the corner, but I've stopped doing that early in my career because all it takes is for someone to screen record it and then just crop in a little bit. What you want to do is put your logo nice and big over the video, but then drop the opacity down to like 20%, 25%, just so that it's there, but people can still preview the video and see what they need to see. But I feel like the classiest way to do it is just to put time code at the bottom. Basically, time code is what most clients need to see anyway, but it just avoids anyone from ever trying to rip the video, download the video, do anything that it's not necessarily intended to be. Now, the takeaways I want you guys to remember is NET30, NET60, and NET90. Basically 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days. That's how long a client has to pay you. Get contracts, and then for videos, using either watermarks or time code to send to your clients. You also can send them through private links to further ensure that you will not get screwed over as a photographer or videographer. I hope you guys enjoyed those quick tips today, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.